Oh God. Oh. Hello homemakers, I'm Melinda and I'm cooking my way through Betty Crocker's 1971 recipe card library, and today we're making Tangy Tomato Aspic. All right, let's get into it. Tangy Tomato Aspic is from section D, Salads for Every Occasion, and it's recipe card number 8. I'm a little nervous about this one, but I'm excited to try it out. Tomato aspic, I guess, is like a savory jello. I don't know why that's called a salad, but we'll find out. She's red, she's shiny, she's filled with shrimp. The shrimp have some sort of mayonnaise on it. I don't think it's gonna be good, but let's go. All right, let's take a look at the ingredients. Tangy tomato aspic, 1 1/4 cups of boiling water, 1 package of lemon flavored gelatin. Okay. At the grocery store, there was 2 types of jello, sugar-free and with sugar. The with sugar is like 30 pounds heavier than the sugar-free. And at first I thought, ooh, we don't want sugar-free. But then I realized we're making a savory gelatin, so obviously we don't want sugar in it, right? Did the 1970s version of jello not have sugar in it? We'll find out. 1 can, 8 ounces of tomato sauce, 1 1/2 tablespoons of vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of onion juice. Onion juice. I didn't know that this existed and I couldn't find it at the grocery store anywhere, but then I did some Googling and I guess people make onion juice for hair loss and put it on their hair. So I followed the instructions for at-home onion juice, which is basically to take an onion, put it in a blender, whiz it up, and then take the onion mush and put it through a cheesecloth or a strainer to get all the juice out. It was absolutely disgusting. My entire apartment still smells like onions. But here we are, we got this gross juice. I hope it's worth it. 1/8 teaspoon of red pepper sauce, which I'm assuming is hot sauce. We're gonna use Crystal. And a dash of cloves and 2 cups of celery. Okay. All right, we got some boiling water here. We need 1 1/4 cups. This is only a cup. A cup? Whoa, it's yellow. 1/4. This smells not good. Very chemically. Very chemically. Then we're gonna stir in tomato sauce, 8 ounces. Ooh. Okay. It smells like tomato soup or like a Bloody Mary. That's fine. Stir in vinegar and seasonings. 1 1/2 tablespoons of vinegar. I'm just using distilled white. I have other better vinegars, but I felt like in the 1970s this is probably what they were referring to. So go with the basics. 1 tablespoon. Stir in tomato sauce, vinegar, and seasonings. I'm assuming seasoning is salt, onion juice, red pepper sauce, and cloves, because then the only other thing that they talk about is celery. Okay, I'm just gonna put the rest of it in. 1/2 tablespoon of salt. Okay. 1/2 teaspoon of onion juice. Where did she go? Oh God, oh God. Oh, God. There's like particles floating in it. It's so gross. And what am I gonna do with the rest of it? I did all of this for 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, gotta get that walked back up. Walk her up. 1/8 teaspoon of hot sauce. That's probably good, right? What was the last thing? Cloves. A dash of cloves. Let me just pinch it. So now it just says to chill it until slightly thickened but not set. And this recipe in general has no timing. And as someone who's never made jello at home before, I have no idea what the timing is supposed to be. So we're gonna try to catch it in this place where it's thickened but not set, because then you stir in celery and the celery is supposed to kind of float around in the goo and then it sets all the way. So, okay, here, into the fridge we go. All right, so we need to chop some celery, which is gonna be floating in the aspic. I'm just doing like a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. Let's call it a 1/4 inch. Okay, so while I'm chopping these, I thought I would tell you a little bit about Betty Crocker. So as you might know, if you don't, spoiler alert, Betty Crocker wasn't a real person. She was kind of a marketing scheme, but she kind of came about organically. They weren't planning Betty Crocker or anything like that. The year was 1921. It's a long time ago. It's 100 years ago. And Washburn Crosby Company was a flour manufacturer in Minneapolis, and they produced gold medal flour, a really popular flour brand. And they had this kind of advertisement in the Sunday Evening Post that was a puzzle that you could put together, and if you turned it back in, you could get a prize. The prize was a pincushion. And so many people filled out the puzzle, so many women filled out the puzzle and sent it back in to receive a prize. It was like 30,000 people tried to get this pincushion prize. And what was fascinating is, along with returning the puzzle, they also were sending in questions about flour and baking, like, why won't my cake rise evenly? And how do you knead bread? Your recipe just says knead bread. What does that mean? Stuff like that. And so they were getting all of these questions back in, and the head of the advertising department was a dude, and he had an advertising team full of dudes, and they didn't know anything about how to answer these questions. So they went to the gold medal flour kitchen team, which was all women, and they asked the women to help them answer all these questions they were receiving. But they didn't want to sign the letters back with a male name, because they didn't think that women would trust a man in the kitchen to give them advice. And so they thought, if we came up with a person's name, a woman's name, who sounded reputable and like she knew what she was talking about, then people would believe them and trust gold medal. And so that's how Betty Crocker was born. It was actually the first name Betty, they thought just sounded kind of all-American, you know, very folksy. And then Crocker came from William Crocker, who was on the board of trustees and had just retired. So that's how Betty Crocker came to be. She was just a signature on the bottom of a letter. I think that's 2 cups. Okay, I'm gonna cut the rest a little bit finer. Well, okay, maybe I'll do one more. Okay, so for our tangy tomato aspic, we obviously need a jello mold. Ideally, you would have a ring mold, which has a hole in it, to put the seafood salad. I don't have one of those, but I did steal this jello mold from my grandma, and it's really fun because it has a hole, and you're supposed to fill the hole with one of these lids. So like you have a flower for Easter, I guess, a tree for Christmas, a star for 4th of July, and a heart for Valentine's Day. And that just like so that you can change out the top of your jello mold. So like the top is a little festive. So what I want to do is try to like manufacture a place for the seafood salad to go using this hole. So I have a cup that's kind of the same size as the hole, and I think if I tape it into the hole and then put this on top to catch any juices, then we will have a jello mold with about a cup's worth of empty space where the seafood salad could go. So we're gonna see if this works. I'm just gonna tape it in there. And we'll play it by ear. Okay, we have chilled the tomato jello until it is thickened but not set. Slightly thickened but not set. Slightly thickened but not set. And we're kind of at a moment where, let me get a spoon. Let me get a spatula. We're kind of at a moment where the center part of the bowl is still pretty loose, but the edges are pretty thick. Like it's thick in place. I don't know if it's ready. I think we go for it. I think we go for it. I'm putting 2 cups of celery into the jello, and then we're gonna pour it in the mold. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna pour it in this mold, and we're gonna see what happens. The mold might have holes in it. Okay. See? Okay, here we are. I think they're suspended. I think it's gonna be fine. So if you were wondering if we were missing any ingredients from the Tangy Tomato Aspic recipe, you would be right. She gives us no instructions for how to make the seafood salad. But you can clearly see their seafood salad in the ring, and she says, fill center of unmolded aspic ring with your favorite seafood salad, served with mayonnaise. Is that an additional amount of mayonnaise, like on the side, or is it in the seafood salad? We don't know. I don't have a favorite seafood salad. I've never made it. But luckily, Betty has a recipe for seafood salad in her picture cookbook. This is my great-grandmother's, and it's falling apart. So I don't even want to open it. Trust me, I already opened it, and I printed out a photograph of the seafood salad recipe. So we're going to look at it through here. Seafood salad. Delicious, made with crab meat, shrimp, lobster, tuna, or salmon. Attractive, served in the center ring of tomato aspic. She's, you know, full circle. Betty knows what she's doing. So I'm gonna do it with shrimp. And basically you mix together a cup of your favorite cooked seafood, some lemon juice, some finely minced onion, salt and paprika to taste, a cup of diced celery, and then you chill thoroughly and then put it together. So this says to chill thoroughly and then just before serving, drain and toss together with mayonnaise to moisten. So I guess there is like more lemon juice in here than you'd want, but you want it to kind of marinate the lemon juice in the seafood. So I guess that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this in the fridge, let it chill, and then we'll drain it and put in some mayonnaise right before it goes in the aspic. All right. The Tangy Tomato Aspic we think is frozen, or not frozen, but jellified, solidified, jelloed, gelatined. We think it's solid. You know, it's shaking and jiggling when you move it. It seems like it's not coming off of my finger when I touch it. So I think we're ready to unmold, but before we do that, I gotta finish my little shrimp situation. So as suggested, I'm gonna drain off this excess liquid that has formed, and I'm gonna add a little mayonnaise. Stir it up. All right, that's drained enough. Let's add some mayo. Betty Crocker loves mayo, and I love mayo. Who doesn't love mayo? Start with a tablespoon. Are we ready for this? I don't know how to unmold it. Like, I'm not sure if we should have sprayed this or something. I'm just gonna flip it over. We'll play it by ear. It's pretty stuck in there. Luckily I can release, ooh, maybe this is why it's a separate element, is to release the tension when you take off the lid. So I'm gonna take off this weird contraption that I've taped. Oh, there's a hole. There's a hole that we can fill with shrimp. I don't know, maybe it's not gelled enough. Oh no, it's coming out. Come on. Oh! We did it! There's a chunk still left in there, but that part's molded. Most of it's molded. You know what I forgot to do? I was gonna put the leaves down first. It's okay. It's okay. I had a vision that I was gonna tuck leaves under it. And I forgot about that vision. It was, so I'm gonna try to like lift it and see if I f it up. Salads for every occasion. We are making a salad for every occasion. I guess we'll put the seafood in. We did it! She looks how she's supposed to look. She looks like the photo. Why anyone would want to eat what is in the photo, I don't know. I don't know if I want to cut into it. I don't know if I'm ready to put this in my mouth. I wasn't sure how this was served. Like, this seems like maybe it's something like you eat with crackers or something, but then, I don't know, I got this hot tip from the back of the photo. There's like a pie knifey, scoopy thing. So that leads me to believe I'm supposed to slice it and eat a slice of it like a slice of pie. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm doing it. How big of a slice do I get? Oh, oh no. Okay, let's do this. It's not as jellified as I think it could be, but I'm gonna get a shrimp, some tomato, some celery, and I'm gonna put it in my mouth. Okay, okay. Okay. Okay, very shrimp forward. Very like lemony shrimp forward. It was like I was hit first with the tomato, but then that passed by me really quick. Let me take a bite of just the tomato. Yeah, the tomato's very sweet, even though I used the no sugar jello. It's very maybe lemon, but like fake lemon, like chemical lemon. The texture isn't as weird as I thought it was gonna be because I kind of feel like I'm just eating like cold tomato sauce, like congealed tomato sauce. I read in the Betty Crocker picture cookbook that aspics are designed to melt in your mouth so that by the time you like chew it, it's become a soup and then you swallow it. And that's happening. That's happening to me for sure. Weird. It's really weird. That's all I can say. But I'm still putting it in my mouth. I'm still taking bites. It kind of like fell apart on the plate. Like, I don't think the presentation was really there, but I don't know if that's Betty's fault or my fault. I used smoked paprika, and that's really coming through. So I'm glad I did that. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, tangy tomato aspic. We made it. I was really intrigued from this recipe from the beginning. I thought it kind of really exemplified 1970s cooking and entertaining. I can't imagine anyone making this today and bringing it to a party, but it was fun to try out. I've never made jello before, so that was part of the experience, I guess. Overall, I give it 2 out of 5 red spoons. All right, back in the box. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, happy homemaking.